Hello, welcome to this video on AI and databases, Scopus, which is owned by Elsevier. In this video, we are going to discuss Scopus's AIs, which they have said is trusted content powered by responsible AI. And this is directly from their webpage. Scopus AI, they say, is an intuitive and intelligent search tool powered by generative AI that enhances your understanding and enriches your insights with unprecedented speed and clarity. Built in close collaboration with the academic community, it is a fully realized subscription-based solution that serves as your trusted guide through the vast expanse of human knowledge found on Scopus, which is the world's largest multidisciplinary and trusted abstract and citation database. So those of you who have sat through some of our library workshops may realize that the STEM team does go through Scopus pretty regularly. We talk about it every time we pretty much do a workshop. I will say that we do not currently, as of July 2024, have access to Scopus AI. This is an extra thing that may show up in beta form while you're using Scopus occasionally. But at the moment, in July 2024, Texas Tech University does not have access to Scopus AI. However, we're going to go over what it kind of looks like and how it works, right? So the first thing we want to talk about is there is this article that came out in February of 2024 that talks about how Scopus AI is providing information through these scientific references, through these chatbots that may not be great. And we can infer that the Scopus AI follows a retrieval augmented generation model or architecture and consists of two machine learning components. So one component retrieves those relevant documents, which would be published between 2018 and 2023 and indexed in Scopus. It is built differently than the default Scopus search. So it's used to match the user input with single sentences contained in available abstracts. This is much, much different than doing a keyword search. And then it suggests that other article metadata are also being used to rank the result. And so this article is very useful. We'll come back to this article in a moment, but I will go through a few things that Scopus has on their website about their AI. And so again, they say that source neutral Scopus is home to 27,000 plus peer-reviewed journals and 330,000 plus books, which are meticulously reviewed and selected by an independent board of experts. Now, this is important because there are some of those databases have started to purge some records because they found that some of these journals are not necessarily the best journals or have been what we call predatory journals. And so Scopus AI and Elsevier, they do spend some time going through their database to make sure that the publications that they're doing are good. But there have been a lot of really interesting articles that have come out about some of these purged predatory journals. They say that we can save time with reliable and digestible research summarization. So for an example, if you were to type in the influence of seismology on civil engineering designs, you would get a summary back and references shown along the side. I found this really useful. However, I'm not sure how useful the summary itself is or how accurate they can be. And while they tell us that the tool's sophisticated tech synthesizes these abstracts into relevant documents and generates easy to digest topic summaries along with expanded summaries for additional depth and perspectives, again, I'm not sure about the quality or the factualness of some of these things. And again, this is where they talk about that patent pending RAG fusion technology. And so if you're not familiar with RAG or missed the video on types of AI models, the RAG is that augmented one that is localized, right? So they're really only pulling on the documents that they have in their database and that they index. They are not pulling on the rest of the internet. they are localizing their AI to what they own. They talk about key concerns about safety and accuracy, and a published report from UNESCO about why they're trying to be transparent, safe, accurate, and relevant. And here we can see that the Cengage group, again, Elsevier, talks about this in detail. There is a whole report here. It looks a little more favorably towards AI and ChatGPT than other places. And so it says that many of us in higher education, this apprehension of generative AI is quote unquote overstated. Now, this may have been done in early 2023. And so I highly recommend reading that. I've linked to it in this module folder. And then there is this other report from UNESCO, which talks about the guidance for generative AI in education and research. So Elsevier talks about having 5 responsible AI principles. They say that they are considering the real world impact of their solutions on people. They take action to prevent the creation or reinforcement of unfair bias. They explain how their solutions work. They are trying to create accountability through human oversight and respect the privacy and champion robust data governance. And so that we hope that their AI is developed with that in mind. Again, they have a privacy policy. They have LLM-specific data privacy. So they do use OpenAI's ChatGPT and have an agreement with them that no user queries will be stored or used to train or improve ChatGPT. And I find that really interesting, and we'll see how that holds up over time. Content and data governance. Again, Scopus content selection is subject to rigorous checks by independent board of experts. And so again, here they talk about that a little bit more in detail about their transparency. So again, only trusted Scopus content is used in the AI responses, and any claims or assumptions backed by references. And the reliability, it says again about their patent pending RAG fusion technology, and is guided by strict prompt engineering guardrails, which is something ChatGPT does not have. And then working in partnership with the community to enhance AI. So many people were involved with some of these aspects of this, but I do think that the nodes on the concept map are interesting. Once you're able to play with it, maybe someday we'll have access to it. It is interesting, but let's talk about a few other things. So if you want more in detail about Scopus AI, there are videos and trainings at this website, which I have put again in the module resource folder here. But that Scholarly Kitchen article, we're going to go back to that. So it found that science information specifically about electromagnons and other physics related topics were not represented well by Scopus AI. It did some falsehoods in with cherry picking, and then also said that there were biases that could seep in because there's no explanation as to why particular articles are chosen over others. And so this can be problematic because we talk about sometimes how those highly cited and highly influential papers tend to be written by white men. And if we want more variety in some of our writing, then we'll have to actually do research and find that. And if we can't do that, these biases seep in because we're just being given information by an AI who's like, well, yeah, that person's been cited 12,000 times. So of course we're going to do that. This person for that Scholarly Kitchen article did a prompt and then wrote out exactly what they were getting back. So what is the relationship between electromagnons and magnons in the field of condensed matter physics? They got these answers from the chatbot, and then they looked at the abstract of the article itself, and then you can see the relevance for the question. So one was roughly correct. It was unclear what the basis for the chatbot to understand what electromagnon is an excitation. And then the second one down, it explained that this sentence was copied one-to-one without quotation. So it's being plagiarized. And So I found this really interesting. She goes through, or they go through more of this chart. This chart is actually pretty long because they did go through a bunch of other articles here. And so for those of you who might be looking for something to write about for your papers, if you're grad students, this might be something you can do. You can start evaluating the types of things that the chatbot is giving back to you and whether or not they're accurate. And so with this third one down, it talks about no relevance for the electromagnons. First sentence seems to come from reference to, but is not linked anywhere. Reference does not say anything about the superconductors or electromagnons. The majority of the abstract content is being ignored. And so, you could sit there and really evaluate these papers and how they're being used and how the chatbot tries to summarize them. And so that is it for this today. Like I said before, we don't have access to Scopus AI at the moment. When we do get access, or if we do, I will update this video and have a demo